David Hobbs, Steve Matchett, and Will Buxton. I'm Bob Varsha.
Lee Diffie with your special guest, Mario Andretti.
Hello, I'm Murray Walker.
And joining me today in the commentary box,
Martin Brundle
and two former world champions, Jackie Stewart and James Hunt.
The contenders meet again in
Waterford Hills outside Detroit.
Beautiful day. The warmest day we've seen of this 3-day weekend.
The clouds seem to have lifted a bit, and we've got a bit of a breeze going.
And of course, with all the rain we had yesterday, it's still a very green racetrack.
Well, if that blown engine dropped any oil on the track, it's going to be treacherous.
I don't know, but I tell you what, if his heart rate's anything like mine, it's up around about the 200 mark. I mean, this start here, the start is always important, but here it is so critical. And if you're anywhere but other than the front, if you're back in the pack there, that turn one can turn into disaster.
They're not careful, they're going to pick up a lot of rubbish that's lying around on the track, so they've got to be very careful on that.
8 corners, lots of elevation change. This track is a real challenge.
This is real short circuit stuff, diving in and out of the traffic. And don't forget that they can lose adhesion very, very easily. Tremendously demanding on the car's transmissions and braking systems, this is circuit, because you're braking and accelerating all the time, reversing the stresses.
Let's have a closer look at the track now with our Acura analysis and David Hobbs.
Pretty long run down to turn one here, and it's a very fast entry into turn one.
The curve where the oil is.
And look at the rubbish on the track from that incident.
Somebody to drop some oil or a bit of debris lying around. It can really jeopardize.
Then turn two, very long double apex curve really. We see quite a bit of overtaking here, funnily enough, on the outside.
But you see how the track narrows down from turn 1 to turn 3.
Now you can see all that stuff, that rubbish that's lying around on the track. Offline, so overtaking becomes more and more perilous as the race continues because you can't pull offline, otherwise you're in all that flag and it gets very slippery out there. Then turn 3, very tight. We've seen a lot of people go off the road here this weekend. A lot of elevation change here over the top of this hill, and then to turn 4, tight right-hander. It's also known as the hill top, and then as you can see the road sloping downhill very steeply here, going to this left-hand sweep.
Because you've got to have very good mechanical grip on those long corners. You want to start getting the power down early on, and they're difficult to do that without making the front end push.
Yeah. Well, the big bend.
And obviously you need some downforce on these reasonably high speed turns.
Last turn obviously very important because it leads you onto this straight. If you have any chance of overtaking anybody, you want to be right on their tail and you want to get every rev out of that car down that straight. A lot of tyre locking goes on into turn 6.
High speed right-hander.
Said that he made a huge mistake in setup for the car in practice, which of course here is so critical because this is such a crucial circuit for setup.
But come the race, the car is extremely well balanced and set up. It's operating beautifully.
These S's in
a left-right complex there. So you've got to use some of the curb, but not all of it. If you go over the back, very big bump there.
Lights out on the safety car now. He begins to pull away. We'll take a break and return. No, I'm just messing with you.
We are going nowhere. Do not move.
Somebody dared me. What can I say?
Into the final curve. This is a 180-degree corner. Very difficult to set the car up for that curve. Very important and a very quick lap.
Very short red light then before we got to the green.
It's time to go racing again. Turn up the volume for the start.
Watch for the flag. And it's go! It's a great start!
Controlling the braking here. Hold it.
And a lot of debris on the track. They just
Punch
drove
it back out the other side. And I tell you what, that didn't look bad.
Kind of defenseless at this point, it appears.
Well, I think he's lost all his grip off those soft tyres. He made a bit of a half-hearted defence move there, but it obviously didn't work out.
Well, I don't think that was very clever driving at all then. He got himself off. He had to go on the slippery bit of the track. The tyres pick up a lot of that stuff and it gets stuck to the hot, very sticky rubber, and your tyres have no grip for sometimes as much as 2 or 3 laps.
Look at the gap, first to second already.
You've got a chance of catching up.
Here we go, up the straight, heading up to turn 6.
He's got a lot of work to do to gain back that
Top speed. Massive brake lock out across the track.
His rear wheel locks up and he's lost control of the car.
He stalled his engine, he cannot be pushed.
Now he fires up.
He will regret that, but it's all part of the learning experience, and to be fair, he's doing jolly well so far.
I think he'll be taking it steady for the next few laps, just in case he damaged anything on the bumps.
trying to work his way into the top 10 at the moment.
A blue flag is shown to a driver who's being approached by a faster car.
He has now got to work hard.
He's got 9 laps left.
And it's very important to get this last corner right, because that's where you pick up so much speed going down the straight. Fantastic curve, this one. Look at this.
Now, look at the understeer here.
Almost flat out.
Or even picking up a gear in the middle of that corner. That's pretty scary.
So it is now lap 2.
And here he goes down into turn 1.
He's having a look down the inside curve where the oil is.
Try to pass.
Obviously decided to give him the road, which was very valiant of him, considering his having such a tough battle.
You can see how demanding it is now. Into turn 3, left-hander.
Trying to make his way forward. He's up as high as 10th at the moment as he's battling for 9th.
And diving through on the inside from slams the door in his face.
Discretion being the better part of valor for the moment.
A little over-exuberance by a young driver.
And had to back out of it a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
He lost about a car length there, just nudging into the marbles.
He's got clean air, he's got fully fast.
And now they're starting to carve their way through the field and starting to carve, he hopes, the gap.
He's trying to hunt down a top 5 result. His team feel that he's in good shape to maybe even scramble for a podium at race's end, but we're rapidly running out of laps.
Unbelievably quickly running out of laps. It's just amazing the way they're dropping down.
Now let's listen to him. He's shifted the gears very automatically, but let's try and listen to that engine.
Over the line now, 2 laps completed on the 3rd lap. That is not half distance.
So it's a question now of him stalking is obviously in a position to threaten. But when you're this close, your front wings don't work so much as he looks. He can't do it there. Maybe you're going to see another pass right now coming up, and there you see him going on the outside of the racetrack. He's in a strong position. Can he do it going in? He's in the right line this time, and he's done it. Leave the whistle.
You know, it tells you how perfect the conditions really are, too.
Yeah.
As far as going quick, I mean, it can't get any better than that.
And the yellow flag waving in the background. Does that mean someone's gone off out of picture?
And it looks like he's had a pretty big shunt. It was a bit of a worry. Looks like a big shunt. He's not really moving very much in the car.
But now we can see it.
The driver out of the car.
That driver's all right. The question is, guys, is this a safety car period,
sure
or are they out the way sufficiently that they will not need to do that?
Comes down towards the end of his 3rd lap.
Under yellow through this zone here.
Yeah, cannot pass here. They're under waved yellow flags, no overtaking. The safety car being released into the race to try and clear that away.
Well, a dramatic opening for laps of the 10th schedule. We'll take a break and return.
Lee Diffie with David Hobbs, Steve Matchett and Will Buxton, and we are just having a ball. What a race this has been, and it is far from over. Safety car has been deployed, and this is the reason why the track needs considerable cleanup because of this. Just the slightest contact, Steve, and that tyre wall gets knocked off. And now the drivers have apparently decided that they are going to head back to the pits and perhaps wait for a restart. And we're going to be talking about this one, aren't we? With that retirement, we're going to be talking about it tonight too on Wind Tunnel, and so too is motor racing legend Mario Andretti. Yes, Mario will be on the show with Dave. It's tonight at 9 p.m. Dave Despain's Wind Tunnel with plenty of special guests. It wouldn't be Sunday night without it, and that'll be live.
Oh boy, that'll be great with Mario on there.
Well, it'll be just great to get Mario's take on the state of play in Formula One.
If you'd like a future in racing, check out safeisfast.com, non-profit site put there by the Road Racing's Driver Club, all about being a pro.
Because of the safety car, he's out to be
Got
lapped.
to be lapped. Goodness me.
These other guys coming in, so although he was at the top of the timesheets, he must have been 1 lap down.
Do you remember this man's spin yesterday? It was at the end of turn 8. Here's the replay. Have a look at this.
Coming to the end of the lap. And this traffic looks like it could cause some problems.
as and makes his way through the traffic. You got to ask, what's going on with their strategy? It's not what we thought was happening at all. With
And it spins!
Did he, man? I think I got it.
Spinning a
I've got it.
360-degree spin.
But he looked perfectly all right.
That was a replay from yesterday.
Slicks work all right on a greasy surface. They work just as well as wet. So
Well, and also, you know, when it's raining, especially in some parts of the track and not others, if you hit a part that is absolutely particularly wet, and the next thing is you're spinning across the grass and you've got absolutely no idea, the very best can get caught out like that.
Will, what are your thoughts on strategy?
John had such a good race last time out, finishing on the podium, but the team thought it could have been even better. He made a slight mistake on the early laps, got caught up behind Upcar and didn't make it past, and that really affected his strategy. The same thing happening today, and it seems that after the early races this season where he's had mistakes over the opening laps of a race, perhaps he's a little bit overly tentative in those opening laps, not wanting to throw the entire race away, but at the same time, it's affecting that overall strategy.
Yeah, all of these guys now working on pretty much the same strategy in these closing laps.
If they're on the same strategy, it's a different same strategy.
again, I suspect he'll take his time about sizing up the situation because he can still see them at the front of the race. He's not worried as yet about them building too much of a lead, but it's time to start getting down to work.
Got to get some real heat in the tyres yet. Well, you got to get them warm, and you do it relatively quickly, but at the same time, you've got to be very careful you don't get them warmed up too quick.
You have to nurse the tyres to get the best out of them, but equally you have to get them hot.
Yeah, so
Other than that,
not quite sure how you're going to do it, but just do it.
Yeah. We saw that also a little shot earlier on, doing the same thing, just working the sidewalls of the tyres, anything to get a little extra heat into them.
And speaking of tires, play the Pirelli GP Challenge powered by Speed Fantasy Game and win a terrific prize, including 2 tickets to the Formula One race coming up in Austin, Texas in November. Visit speedfantasyracing.com now to play.
And so, now with the warm-up lap completed, all ready.
As we get ready, you see the safety car and the yellow flag waving there, but as we come into these final sequence of corners, you can start to go racing.
And we are restarting. The drivers will be getting itchy trigger fingers now, waiting for the green flag. And it's away, a very, very quick start indeed. And are absolutely together on this first restart lap as they stream around straight off on the green light. He's got a lot of work to do to gain back that lost time.
And I think there was a new car running well with all that power. He's got every chance to show it today.
But the 2 cars are now a long, long way ahead.
But here we see the on-board.
And it's a fabulous comment of modern technology that you can actually travel with the race drivers.
Now very close as they come onto that long back straight. If he can't do it this time, I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
He's starting a charge.
And this is the challenge.
He's going to have a go. He's got his car alongside. And this surely is it. Yes, he's good.
Getting alongside on the straight, it's dependent on getting onto the straight. Quickly, that long, difficult corner onto the straight, then getting in the draft, the car in front, getting alongside, and boom, getting inside for the corner.
Now we're riding into the S's, the left, right.
They call it an enlarged go-kart track. Many drivers describe it as that, but they also say it's a real driver's track. The speeds that you reach and the tight turns.
Absolutely pounding round, trying to get on the tail of.
Let's watch this and see what happens.
With 2 laps to go.
Into the right-hander, swing
Bit of a
left.
lock up there.
Tremendous view from the onboard camera. You see the inside front wheel as it goes by, just grabbing and locking on the brakes. Having a look down the inside here.
It's a forceful maneuver.
Look at that.
Yeah, boom.
Last year we would have anticipated contact at a battle like this.
When the cars get so close like that, David, side to side, and you think about how carefully controlled the airflow is around the keel of the chassis, when you get a competitor's wheel come that close, it must feel absolutely awful to the driver.
This is going to be an interesting challenge.
Has shifted.
Watch the gap close as fast as you like. It's a drag race down the straight.
Now very close as they come onto that long back straight. If he can't do it this time, I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
And goes right around the outside of
Nice and friendly pass.
Yes, that wasn't so much the superior power, it seemed to have superior traction.
Well, you saw from the times, obviously, and the conditions are good, but look at, they still have a lot of fuel on board. So the lap times they're doing is very impressive. No question about it.
It's amazingly quick, Steve.
Yeah, it is.
They must have got that wing drag coefficient just absolutely spot on.
But certainly the chassis is working very, very well. It's very much a chassis circuit.
Now we begin the final lap.
He's now up into 5th position.
And he can afford to take it easy. He has eased off a bit now. He just needs to concentrate and keep his concentration up.
And here is the battle for 4th. Could still do it, but catching he might be able to do. Get past he might well not be able to do if the car is running as well as it seems to be.
Yep, battle for 4th.
So he's got a soft tyre, so he's very quick, but I can't see him catching up before the end of the race again.
Traffic ahead on the big bend.
And there's a big, big gap. And he's really pressing on now. He's got no problems about tyres and working temperature.
Now about 3 corners to get past.
Closes that gap down now. He's absolutely flying up.
We're now getting another race developing because his charging is caught right up.
Well, this could all end up in a very large pile of fiberglass. Yeah, he caught him up, but he's having a heck of a job to get by him now.
And here we got just coming round. 2 more corners to go.
Comment, Jackie Stewart.
The problem now is that we see a great battle here in this just closing stages of the Grand Prix.
And there is the checkered flag. What a marvellous race.
What a race. Let's revisit the results. Here are the Acura results. Let's go to that scoreboard, David.
Well, there you see the results.
Murray Walker.
James Hunt, Jackie Stewart, Martin Brundle will be there for you to watch it on BBC television.
For David Hobbs, Steve Matchett, and Will Buxton, I'm Bob Varsha. Goodbye.